new elective leadership is committed to advancing the interests. But let's go and cross over to the 106th ANC celebrations and commemorations that are taking place in Durban.
How do you want to do that? Where's the photo? The president has a photo opportunity. Okay, those who are taking pictures, can you do it? Where are they? Maybe against that background. A photo opportunity. We were supposed to do a tour of the museum. Many people know that there is a museum there. There's a school, there's a museum. We're going to cut out that program. Am I right?
Indeed, these are just the live visuals coming in from Durban. We do know that this is with regards to the ANC's 106th anniversary in honor of our previous party presidents. They include the likes of Josiah Gumede, Pixley Seme, Albert Luthuli, as well as the party's founding president, Langalibalele Dube. We have been crossing throughout the course of the morning there. We've also seen in attendance the ANC's top six. One of the questions coming in there is why President Jacob Zuma is not in attendance this morning. We've also seen the likes of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and we also heard some of the sentiments and views there coming in from one of the grandchildren to Mr. Langalibalele Dube, of course, the late Langalibalele Dube. He is amongst one of the few veterans that the ANC, as well as the members there today, are commemorating upon the 106th anniversary down there in Otlanga in Durban in the KZN province. We have been giving you all the visuals and taking you through the proceedings. Of course, this is also towards the run-up of the January 8th statement, which is only going to be taking place on the 13th of January, this coming Saturday. Now, we've seen some of those members there. They seem to be making their way up onto the grave site that has been set out for those veterans. We also heard the likes of ANC's Pixley today mentioning, of course, the contributions that these veterans have made to the ANC, as well as to where the party is today. And of course, this also comes of the drops of unity that has been called from King's Weletini, Goodwill's Weletini, that is there in KZN. We've also seen the other family members, grandchildren and wives and other family members make their way there, and we have been giving you the live visuals. So if you have just tuned in, this is the wreath laying ceremony in KZN in Otlanga. Indeed, joining me in studio is political editor Sophie Mokwena. Very good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Let's just discuss the celebrations as well as the comments from King Goodwill's Weletini with regards to calling for unity within the ANC.
Well, indeed, today we can see that the Deputy President of the country, who is in this case there in his capacity as the President of the ANC, is laying a wreath there at the grave. We know that the ANC program, as part of the 13th lead up to the 13th of January, where they will be celebrating more than 100 years of ANC establishment. He is currently there leading the ANC officials. You know that all of them, they are down there visiting different graves, and they will visit the grave of Langalibalele Dube, they will visit Albert Luthuli, they will visit Gumede, and they will also visit the family of Pixley Seme, with the aim of perhaps looking back at the history of the organization since it was established, and perhaps the reason why the party was established or the organization was established. Also perhaps revoking the memories and the principle of those who led the ANC since 1912, and perhaps looking back at ensuring that perhaps they can learn some lessons in terms of the different type of leadership that was presented at different types of challenging times. You know that currently Ramaphosa is trying very hard to ensure that ANC is fighting for survival in terms of doing better in the coming elections in 2019, and therefore the issue of unity is very important. Yesterday, indeed, they visited the king yesterday, who also advised them to put aside their differences and work as a collective, but also try and unite the ANC membership. But also because you know that KwaZulu-Natal, it's a very critical province. It's the biggest province of the ANC, but also lots of violence there, and therefore it is his nation that is suffering when there are these kinds of conflict in that province. And therefore, of course, the main issue is unity, and you can see that we have Sihlezi Galala there, the chairperson whose position is in question because of the court challenge, and also Senzo Mkhunu there, the former Secretary General, who's currently the NEC member, Paul Mashatile, the new Treasurer General. We have Malusi Gigaba there, the Finance Minister, who is also a member of the new NEC. You have the regional leadership, you can see the mayor there, and it looks like they are presenting a united force.
Now, with that being said, and speaking on the issues of factionalism and moving towards unity, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma is also said to be in attendance. Let's highlight that fact that she is there on the calls for unity.
Well, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma is an ANC veteran, and I would expect her to do exactly that. You'd recall in 2007, he contested a deputy president position, challenging Halima Motlanthe, who also contested the same position. And after she lost, she went to the podium with all those who were participating in different positions to go and congratulate them. So for me, it's not surprising, and that's what she is expected to do as the senior ANC member. In fact, she is supposed to demobilize her troops, those who are behind her, lobbying for her, pushing for her, to say now the leadership is in place, now we have to rally behind the leadership, because that's the ANC's position. Once the leader has been elected or the leadership is elected, you rally behind the leader, and therefore she must lead by example. She must actually communicate with all those who supported her to say now it is the ANC that is in charge, there is a new leadership, we take directives from the new leadership, and she must lead by example. She cannot allow a situation where his name is dragged in terms of ensuring that there's divisions or people continuing. They can't continue. She has to demobilize her troops.
Why is Jacob Zuma not in attendance this morning?
Well, I think he wants to give the current leadership space to start with work. But I expect him to be in East London if there are no divisions. And I think this time around, contrary to Polokwane, after his victory, Ramaphosa reached out to the outgoing president or the former president. He indicated that they still value his contribution. And I think the way Ramaphosa handled the transition immediately after the conference, it has made it easy for perhaps a person like President Jacob Zuma to go and attend any ANC gathering, contrary to what happened in Polokwane. After Polokwane, there was a fallout because the way the whole transition was handled and statements after Mbeki lost to Zuma in Polokwane, it created an animosity. We saw the breakaway of cope. And I think Ramaphosa doesn't want to repeat the same mistakes. You know, the Polokwane mistake, the same with Bloemfontein. Even though Halima Motlanthe is still trying to be part of the collective, but at times it is very, very difficult for him.
What do you think are the underlying challenges that the ANC still has with regards to factionalism?
Well, I think it's up to the current leadership to ensure that they deal with those challenges and they kind of ensure that there's unity. It is up to the current leadership. They have to do just that.
What can we expect on Saturday?
Well, of course, on Saturday it's a big day. This will be first statement that will be delivered by the new president, Cyril Ramaphosa. And I think the theme again will revolve around issue of unity and how the ANC hopes to turn the tide in terms of ensuring that, again, South Africans believe in the party.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us here in studio. Of course, political editor at SABC News, Sophie Mokwena, just unpacking a little bit of the 106th ANC celebrations taking place in Durban. For now, though, let's take a short break. Do stay tuned to Newsroom.
Africans are increasingly using digital platforms for life, work and play.
Information is key for us. We live in an information age. We live in the digital age.
I'm mostly on WhatsApp because not all my friends have iPhones, so they don't have FaceTime.
On Network, we tell you about Africa's technology and social media landscape.
And some here are using the internet to raise political concerns.
Some of the exposés on political issues come from what we call your diasporic online media.
Africans are also using technology to create. For African technology and social media news, join me, Phumelele Zondi, on Network every Sunday at 9 p.m.
With the stories of abuse from the other 8, but they haven't been ready to pursue any angles. They've offered their support. They've offered the comfort to the 8s, and it's been an amazing journey.
It feels like your heart actually literally sunk in your shoes.
It wasn't a long encounter. I think at the time I froze.
The way the criminal justice system deals with sexual violence is problematic. And I don't know, unless there's a fundamental change in many things, the way prosecutors deal with the victim in the matter.
For all investigative insights, stay tuned to Special Assignment every Saturday at 17:30.